Help protect us from racism and xenophobia by becoming an I Love Black People ambassador today. Join on iloveblackpeople.com. No matter where you are in the world, join us today and get access to the I Love Black People network. Special thanks to Banneker Communities.
Greetings, amazing, dynamic, wonderful. I love Black people listeners. Thank you so much for joining us again and being here to support so much of the work that we're doing. It wouldn't be possible without you. We're such an exciting time to be alive. We're grateful, we're thankful, and we'll stay prayed up. And let me jump right into it. As you know, we're about to launch October 4th, official launch of our I Love Black People app. Is important more than ever that we organize and literally build a world that we want to live in. And as many of you who've been following some of the latest headlines, uh, our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., former chocolate city, mocha latte city, is under attack in a very direct and unfortunately racist, undermining white supremacist way by the U.S. government. You imagine the U.S. government attacking Washington, D.C. Well, we've been under siege for literally decades. If we could talk about the drug wars and the proliferation of weapons. Right now, for those who don't know, the president of the United States is federalizing the police. We're bringing in troops, and again, this is uh, a form of very much in a like a martial law in a way, where literally local people don't have control over their local and law enforcement. Now, DC, as many of you who've been following us for quite some time, one of our agendas is DC statehood. DC residents are taxed, yet we do not have representation in the Congress, or in the United States, we call it Congress. Many parts of the world, they call it Parliament. It's the legislative body that actually writes the laws. And literally, the people who live here, including myself, don't have access to the powers that decide these laws. We have a delegate, non-voting, and so the wars, what's going on, and the genocides that are taking place. We don't have the votes in order to make our tax dollars be heard. So that's one of the issues. And now, when you're vulnerable like that, lack the sovereignty, oftentimes those who don't wish anyone good, who are exploiters, will use that for their own interests. So right now, we're looking for more support, even in the Congress, and that's, they've been horrible. Even the Congressional Black Caucus and many of these other so-called, bodies that are supposed to be progressive to help. Uh, DC shouldn't, the District of Columbia should not even be in this situation. Literally, there's been plenty of times where the so-called Democrats who say they're supporting DC statehood could have passed DC statehood. And again, what we hear is people saying, not right now, wait, it's not the time, things that will make you realize that no matter what happens, we never should allow our interests to be deferred or deterred. And we should always prioritize our agenda. And so, in many ways, we've had people tell us that these issues were too provocative and it would harm another agenda. Well, again, politics is about who gets what and when. And we should not be subordinating our goals and our ambitions to other other groups. At the end of the day, we need to make sure we hold up our agenda and know no one's going to come and save us. That being said, the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, who's literally um, the first woman, and of course, first Black woman ever to hold a elected office as mayor of a major city for three consecutive terms. Like, this is amazing. She's the best of the best, and this is when you see the attacks. We have a upstanding leader, and again, we're not waiting for any politician to save us. But when we have someone who's been this dedicated and devoted, like Amira Bowser, these are the attacks you get. And we need to make sure we stay steadfast. This is the time that, unity will serve us best and not being divided. So we're definitely pressing to make sure that we as a community stick together through these attacks by within the United States by the president, and then make sure that not only do we stick together, but that we literally hold every politician accountable and hold everyone accountable, including ourselves. So, as a tech startup, this is a very interesting time because our launch has even made it more important or made it more pressing how we have to make sure that we're protecting each other. And the whole purpose of the I Love Black People app is to make sure that we don't have to depend on just the government or just outside, nonprofits or any. We have tools that we allow us to organize as well as identify safe places and those who wish to support safe places anywhere in the world, including Washington, D.C. And we're definitely going to use this time as we prepare for launch to make sure we identify as many legal as well as uh, safe spaces so that our people, if they are have their rights attacked, that they know where to go to be treated with dignity and respect. It's imperative that we take this moment to build in this way because this is what's important for our people to be safe and protected. And it's important that we focus on our attention on these issues so that when we decide that we um, are moving about freely in the world, we should not live in fear. And that's the key to this. We need to have self sovereignty that no matter where we go, that no one has the right or prerogative to harm us. And we should be able to determine where we wish to go in those ways. So if you haven't downloaded the app, this is the time to download. All those who are really interested in helping us build this global Pan African network, this is the time. We need to take action. It's been time, and this is why we created this app. But this is what we are talking about: healthcare, legal, places to live, places to eat, transportation, finance, beauty, childcare, education. These are the key elements that are important that we make sure we safeguard. And we safeguard it simply by identifying and recommending through crowdsourcing those Black friendly, Pan African friendly places. And we know that. And then the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we have the highest concentration of some of the best and the brightest, amazing Black people on the planet. This should be the safest place, not the place that we live in fear. This is the place where our children should be able to move about freely and fearlessly, not in fear and being locked in or locked out. We have the ability to address that. We're leveraging technology, but I also say this in every field of human endeavor, we should be using our talents, our powers, our access abilities, our relationships, our reputations in order to build a place that's safe for our people, no matter how much money you have in your pocket. In moments like this, having lots of money won't stop the military from harming the people in our community, pulling us over, and they're not going to ask you how much money do you have. This racial profiling is never like this. This has been consistent. So we have to be consistent in protecting ourselves. We have to be deliberate in protecting each other. And we definitely know that leveraging technology with our Pan African unity is one of those ways to do those things. It's important that we work together collectively and use the tools that we have at disposal. And again, lawyers out there, law firms, if you have law firms that are really doing that work and helpful, please make sure you share that information with as many of our family and friends as possible. The time is now. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So we have to do these things for the sake of our collective, our people. And we have the power to do so. So we're going to continue to mobilize around these issues. We must make sure we free all our people everywhere from the tyranny, the harm, humiliations of racism and Afrophobia, full stop. And everyone's not going to be willing to go march or protest. Everyone's not going to be able to willing to go in the streets, but everyone can do something. You download this app, You can recommend a law firm. You can recommend a lawyer. You can recommend a healthcare provider. You can recommend a doctor, people that treat our people with dignity. Right now, the mental health, psychiatrists, psychologists, folks who can help us address the issues with this trauma that's caused with this militarization. These are real impact. These are things that we have to stop. These are things that we have to protect our people with. This is why we have these skills. And we have to be able to leverage and coordinate those skills. And it's up to us to do so. And we have tools to do it. I Love Black People is one of those tools. It's not the only tool. There's so many different ways that we can help our communities, but this is one of the ways. And it's important that we're the ones who are determining how to do it and when to do it. And with your support, we'll build a global safety net. That safety net right here in the DMV, you're responsible for it. I'm responsible. We can build a DMV safety net to make sure that everyone in this community, this area, is at least has a safety net to protect them from the harms and humiliations of racism, leveraging these tools. And there's plenty of organizations out there spreading the word and doing the good things that need to be done. They need tools too. And this is an effective tool for them to use and make sure that their constituents that they're working with have access to key important elements of the 8 categories we have based on the original Green Book. So again, this is something no matter where you are in the world, but is most critical now, especially in the DMV, where many of our people are being again held under siege, by policies and by principalities to exploit, to distract, but none of this is being done to help. Again, our people are not crazy. They know if you're helping, we know if you're helping us or not, or you're trying to exploit us or harm us. And again, creating a police state is not going to protect us. What it's going to do is take our freedoms and take our liberties and not make us safe. It gives license to the state to exploit and harm. And we, as again, descendants of enslaved Africans in America, we clear this state has in so many at every turn has been punitive and harmful as a state actor against our people. And we again, every form, every opportunity, much of this harm that's been done to our people was legal. So to even say if this is lawful or not is beside the question. We definitely appeal to a higher source for what is right and what is wrong. It's definitely not the president of any of these presidents of the United States or any of these countries. So when we talk about what we need to do and how we need to do it, we definitely need your support. Make sure you download the app. iloveblackpeople.com is a website. We're on iOS. We're on Android. Download the app, register, and refer your friends. Get your recommend the Black friendly spaces, the Pan African friendly spaces, and make sure that you give this tool to your loved ones so they have access to a map of all the places that treat us with dignity and respect. And please, if you see a space that's already on there, validate that space by recommending it again. We want to make sure that we recommend the most Pan-African friendly, most Black friendly spaces that we can with your support. So again, these are the things that we're doing with your support, but we need you to be vigilant. We need you to come out and know that this is important. And the way we make these things happen is by literally you getting out here and participating through your phone. Again, that's why we think it's important that everyone does a little bit, no one has to do a lot. So there's a way that we can leverage as much as we can to spread the love, to spread this the knowledge and safety for our people as we can. In addition to that, as you know, it's important that everyone who can, be a participant in this is also know that, there's different events coming up in the district. We need to do as much as we can to teach people, continue to teach people about the plight of the District of Columbia. Many people don't even understand the government structure and what we have access to and don't have access as Washington D.C. So again, when people visit, there's often on the license places is taxation without representation, letting people know what's going on. and why it's going on. Too often it's blamed on the people who are the victims. How can you be the villain and the victim at the same time? Like this is the madness that's being propagated. We have to tell the narrative. We have to be the ones that tell the story in its fullness, not in some way to, deceive or mislead people. We have the power to share. So again, when we talk about social media or any of these areas within our I Love Black People app, we have chat groups focused just on legal, focused just on the DMV to talk about these issues so we can organize. And again, this is not just about talking, this is about taking action. And creating a global safety net is taking action. We are not the only ones experience things like this in DC. There are people in our greater Pan African community that experience it in Europe, throughout the world. And we need to be there for each other. And again, everyone has a role to play. And if everyone does a little, no one has to do a lot. And I say that because again, we all are sacrificing for our family and our friend. And we say, and we talk about Pan-Africanism, we're talking about a greater family, a bigger family, maybe a distant family. And just like, any family, there's all types of members in your family. But we need to make sure that we're all safe collectively. We need to make sure we're safe. And as we deal with these issues, sometimes, and even our friends who don't live in DC, you know someone who lives in DC. So someone who lives in this area. So this attack in this part of the world, it impacts probably the whole world if you think about it, just in the reach of the different communities are in the DMV. So, it's best again that we do things to protect ourselves. And those things that we can do, we can leverage technology to do it in a very scalable way. And make sure you keep, letting people know. And to get more information, we also, I don't talk enough. We have a Saturday class that we have, our Pan African history class. As a part of that, we always talk about the activities that we're involved in throughout that. That's Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. on Saturdays. Make sure you come and participate. Listen to what we're doing, how you can get involved, what are the next steps we're taking with the launch, as well as we got the Global Green Book. Make sure you get a copy. You go to Amazon, you get the Global Green Book. That's important. And make sure that you share and spread the word. Download the app. We currently have some I Love Black People wristbands that we've been sharing with folks who download the app. These are little things that help us promote and spread the affirmation about loving ourselves, loving our people. I love Black people. It just sounds good saying it. I love Black people. So just making sure that we continue to push this out here to elevate our folks. Because again, wishing people well, the positivity, it does matter. You never know what someone's going through. And sharing a positive word, affirmation, talking about love, this is how we disrupt the hate. These are the actions we take, again, even individually, sharing love, that energy and positivity. As we go through what we're dealing with in Washington, D.C., we need to meet that with more love and more affection towards one another. We have strength in our unity. And this is the moment that we need to leverage that unity and that strength and that love to overcome the oppression that's being attempted to destroy us. But it's unsustainable. That negativity, that hatred, that violence, that's the weapon of choice, violence. The tool of choice is violence. We will overcome all that with love, with our dedication to one God. Like this is ungodly, unnatural, and it's unsustainable. So again, don't as much as these things seem to be overwhelming and overpowering. This is just a moment. Uh, this is clearly unsustainable and not gonna. It's gonna fail. It's doomed. This behavior, this negativity, this evilness is unsustainable. We have to be steadfast. We have to continue to resist. And we've been resisting since we've been in this part of the world and dealing with this white supremacist ideology that's literally committed genocides, plural, as well as enslavements. and rape and all the things that we sometimes see left out of history books. But we're clear, the source and the origin of this negativity, and we must continue to resist it. We must continue by our existence, be the clean glass that says that we shall not be moved. And our ancestors have sacrificed. And I say ancestors, our family, our great grandmothers, our family. Don't let them make us think the ancestors someplace far away. We stand on the shoulders of some of the most resilient, powerful people on the planet, where there were systems set up to destroy us, and they refused to leave. So when we talk about what we're going through right now, just know that we come from people who've overcome and built civilizations and have continued resistance to this underdevelopment, this regressive violence that has done more to harm humanity than to build it. But we have to be that clean glass. Malcolm X said it, be the clean glass. People are thirsty, they'll drink out of a dirty glass. But we have to be that clean glass. And we don't fight fire with fire. We'll burn everything down. We'll fight fire with water. And that water is the love, it's our determination, it's our connection with our God. Again, I bring up God, it's no way trying to tell somebody how to pray, or should you be Christian, a Muslim, a Jewish, or a Hindu, or uh, African traditional spirituality. All of these things are, we don't. I'm not here to tell you which way to go or how to go there, but we all in that context understand there's a greater power here that we serve. And so don't get caught up in the material and the physical. We need to be clear that these things that are being done are not, these are things praying on these things will let you know this is not, you can't pray about lying or being violent to somebody. Like, what kind of prayer is that? God, let me kill as many people. Like, this is crazy. So we have to make sure that we are the ones that stand in the gap for our elders, for our children, to make sure that none of this negativity that's being done in DC and other parts of the world, it will not prosper. And we are doing everything to organize with those people who agree with that. And let me just also say this: this is not the time to be arguing with everyone. This is the time to mobilize those people who are already interested in what we're doing and why we're doing it, to protect ourselves and our community. So much of this social media discourse, this algorithm that feeds it, is about conflict. This is not what we are talking about. Is not conflict. This is about uplifting each other. This is about protecting each other. So again, there are plenty of people who want to participate in that. Our responsibility is seek those folks out, organize with them, and build. And those who don't want to build, sooner or later they will change their mind or not. But don't let that be your task. Your task should be organizing with those who want to organize first. We call them early adopters. Get as many early adopters as possible and just build, be amazing. That's, we got limited time, limited energy. Make sure you manifest it in a very effective, efficient way. And we think the best way to do that, for as a engineer, as a tech startup co-founder, is to leverage this technology to bring our people together to be that protection. And as things change, if something else comes, if we're organized, we can always meet that challenge. Organize, organize, organize. Yeah, Kwame Nkrumah, of course, was organized, but Kwame Ture, keep organizing. And this is what we're here to do: leveraging technology, leveraging our Pan African unity, understanding that we as a people deserve that dignity and the respect. Our children deserve that, not to be in fear, not to feel marginalized. And we can do those things to change that. Um, Again, with the app, the October 4th launch, please follow us on our Saturday calls so you can know where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, because we're going to need you to be out and share. October 4th is probably the early season for the Howard, excuse me, the Historically Black College Universities homecoming season. So we definitely want to make sure that we get to the alums and students and let them know there's a tool that's been created with their support and help to protect us, help us protect ourselves. And again, that's about, empowerment. No one's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And I think what's important when we talk about that is, again, supporting those who are doing the right things. Again, shout out to Mayor Mira Bowser, single mom, wonderful little daughter, Miranda, adopted a daughter while she was in office. Her commitment is just amazing. I just think her story is not told, but we need to make sure we continue to tell the story of folks who do things to sacrifice for us. Again, she can't, she only has one life to live. She's given quite a bit of it to serve her hometown where she was born and raised. So again, we are thankful because not everybody's willing to sacrifice. I've been dealing with working with Tuskegee University, as you know, I attended, as well as Howard. And some people give their whole life. I've contributed money and different things to the university, but there are administrators. Shout out to Sister Kim Holland, who was instrumental in help organizing our pledge to raise money. And they give their whole life. You give dollars and then do all your work somewhere else where you can enjoy and sit back. And there's people who. But with that being said, just want to thank everyone for coming out. If you want to get in contact with us, reach us at info@iloveblackpeople.com, info@iloveblackpeople.com. Our website is iloveblackpeople.com, and you can download our app. We're on the Apple App Store. We're on Google Play. And again, we just are thankful so much for your support, being here. We couldn't do this without you. And as I always say, I am because we are. Thank you.
Help protect us from racism and xenophobia by becoming an I Love Black People ambassador today. Join on iloveblackpeople.com. No matter where you are in the world, join us today and get access to the I Love Black People network. Special thanks to Banneker Communities.